everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be unboxing, trying, and reviewing the viral mini kit from Le Mini Macaron. Now I have seen this for years and people have continuously asked me my thoughts about it, and I haven't had the opportunity to try it until now. So in this kit came some really fun stickers, some fun mani stickers, a little bit of literature, instructions, 20 nail cleanser pads, and of course the mini macaron lamp and polish. Before we get started, I just want to show you what my nails look like and what we are working with. They are a pretty decent length. I've been trying really hard to grow them back out. They're all in pretty good condition except for this thumb. I did break it, so there is an acrygel layer on it. You can't really tell, but it's helping keep that broken nail in place. I'm gonna go ahead and open up this kit. So here is the mini lamp. It's awesome. It's so darn cute. It looks like a macaron. It's perfect for curing one finger at a time. The top is magnetic, which is kind of neat. Opening up this box here, we have the charging cable, which is just a USB charger. We have gel remover wraps, a mini file, and a cuticle pusher. And then we have the color. This is the shade Milkshake. It's just a gorgeous white. There's some literature in here about how to use these products and how to paint the perfect manicure. I'm going to get started by plugging in my lamp, and then we're going to open up this bag, take out the mini file, the cuticle pusher, and we'll save these gel remover wraps for later. So I'm going to begin by gently pushing my cuticles back. I've already shaped and filed my nails, so we're just going to push the cuticles back and then rough up the surface just a smidge so that the polish will adhere. This is a really important step for any gel manicure, and I always do my best just to rough up the perimeter of the nail, so just the sides and the bottom near the cuticle. I try to avoid going too much into the middle or too much at the top so we don't thin out the nail, and usually I have great results with this. From here, we're going to open up the polish and shake it up per the instructions. Shake it up really, really well. I'm just taking a peek before I get started to make sure that everything is mixed and it looks good. It's a really nice opaque looking white. And from here, we're just going to start painting. I'm going to start on my pinky and paint a very thin coat. Now you can tell that it's a little streaky, but that's okay because we are going to go in with another coat at some point. Pop that nail into the lamp and let it cure. What I like about this is I can move on to my next finger while the first one is curing. What's awesome about this polish is that it's a 3-in-1. That means that this color not only offers you the pigment, but it's also a base and top coat mixed in as well, so you don't need any additional polishes. So I think that is awesome. I do like that you can paint each nail one by one and kind of paint and cure as you go. I will say that painting them all at once and then curing the hand only one time I think is a little easier than the individual curing, but I have more to say on this towards the end, so stay tuned for that. We're just making our way through every finger, a thin coat. Yes, they are a little streaky, but we will fix that later. Once they're all cured, it's awesome that they're completely dry. You don't even need to use any kind of alcohol or cleansing pad at the end. Like, they are just perfectly dry. I'm so impressed by this, but I'm not done. I do think that they're a little sheer, a little streaky, and I want to go in for a second coat. So we're going to apply another thin layer to each nail, cap the edge, and pop it back into that little macaron lamp, which is the cutest thing ever. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue to do this on all of my fingers until they look a little bit better. I was worried about the brush being so close to the lamp because I didn't want any of the polish to cure on the brush and then the brush become hard, if you know what I'm saying. Luckily, I didn't notice any of that happening. I did my best to keep that brush out of the stream of light, so we were in pretty good shape. Any polish that I did get on my fingers, I just quickly cleaned up with my fingernail and wiped it on the paper towel. But for the most part, this polish and the brush was really easy to use. So after 2 coats, I think that these nails look amazing, but I do still notice some sparse areas, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I'm going to go back in for a 3rd coat to kind of wrap up this manicure. Now, I don't think that 3 coats is too much. I mean, normally I would be painting 5 coats of gel. So 3 coats I think is a sufficient amount. We're doing the same thing that we've done, just paint a thin coat, cure a thin coat, paint a thin coat, cure a thin coat. The entire process took me probably about 20 minutes per hand, which isn't too bad. Again, I do think that painting all 5 fingers at once and then curing at once is probably a little more time efficient, but I do like the option to cure 1 finger at a time. All right, so once the final finger is cured, we are pretty much done with this manicure. I do really like how it looks, and I was excited to see how it held up, but I've got some updates for you here. Later on that night, I did get a chip on my middle finger. I hit it on the seatbelt somehow, and it just chipped off. It like flaked off, which is weird. I don't normally have like a chip like that when it comes to gel, but the next morning, I just buffed down the surface, popped my finger into that remover packet, and then scraped off the old polish before going back in and repainting it. It was was really, really easy to remove. And this is where I love the single finger lamp. I was able just to repaint this one finger, 3 quick coats while I was having my morning coffee, pop it in the lamp 3 times, and we were done. Now, a couple days later, I was putting away my laundry at night and I noticed this polish on the floor and I was like, oh my goodness, is this one of my nails? And it was. It had completely just totally popped off. I didn't even notice until I saw it on the floor. So that was a bit of a bummer. I ended up just painting a couple coats of regular white polish on that nail and figured I'd deal with it later. And then the following day, I was in the car, I was at a stoplight, and I noticed that this polish was starting to lift around the edges. All of my nails were starting to lift. I honestly went home and removed them. I peeled them off. This is so unlike me. This is not something I recommend you do, but they were already so peeled off. They kind of came right off with virtually 0 damage to the nail. So the polish that's still on the nail is the regular polish that I had used. And then my middle finger and my thumb were a little more stubborn, so I ended up soaking those 2 off. But the rest of the nails unfortunately popped right off. And I don't know if that was a prep thing or not, but I was a little disappointed. So overall, I really thought this was a unique system. It's very cute. I love the 3-in-1 option. Like, there's nothing better than not having to use a base and a top coat. If you could just do it all in one, that's amazing. It really does come with everything you need. The little lamp is adorable. I just unfortunately had a really poor experience with the lifetime of this manicure. So I'm not going to say that this was a horrible product. If you have the opportunity to try it, I say go for it because it is very easy, especially for beginners. It's so hard to mess up. But for me, I'm going to probably stick to some of the other brands that I use and love on a regular basis. But thank you, Macaron, for sending this to me. I'm so glad that I finally had the opportunity to try it out. I hate giving poor reviews, but my experience was my experience. However, I'll definitely give it another try and hopefully I have better results, but I wanted to give an honest and real first impression. That's it for this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below if you've ever tried the Macaron gel manicure system, what you thought about it. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. I will see you in my next one. Bye.